1937, Getúlio Vargas, president of Brazil, launched the March to the West. The federal government developed this project during the Rancador Xingu expedition, and it would change the lives of 3 notorious men forever. At the time, the central region of Brazil, in the midst of the Tapajós rivers, Araguaia Basin, and Mato Grosso valleys, was just a vast area still unknown and uncharted in the heart of Brazil. Nevertheless, during World War II, the government was already interested in building strategic runways for air traffic more inland and far from the shoreline as a safety measure due to possible attacks on the coast. Soon enough, 30 men started one of the biggest odysseys in Brazilian history. Among them, 3 brothers, Orlando, Claudio, and Leonardo Villas-Boas. Throughout the 5 years, the expedition had penetrated 435 miles towards the Xingu River basin, cutting through the treacherous river and dense forest never visited by the white men before.
Era uma época onde as políticas insistiam em apontar que o futuro dos índios era desaparecer, né? Era se misturarem à população nacional, se miscigenarem, né, à população envolvente, né? E a criação do Parque do Xingu foi uma atitude ousada, né, no sentido de delimitar uma área nas dimensões que o parque tem, né, para povos indígenas.
As a result of all the joint efforts of the Villas-Boas brothers and other personalities, in 1961, the government approved the implementation of the National Reserve of Xingu, the most important indigenous reserve of the Americas at the time. The main focus of this project was to protect and reduce the unwanted contact between Xingu natives and the inevitable penetration of other sectors of our society. The Villas-Boas brothers were very worried about protecting and preserving the local natives of that region without creating much interference on their lifestyle and culture.
São essas fadas madrinhas das populações indígenas brasileiras, que surgem nesses momentos e que têm um papel relevante no sentido de chamar a atenção da sociedade sobre a importância, a beleza e a riqueza dos povos indígenas na constituição da identidade nacional.
The 3 brothers learned to respect the natives and realized that in order to ensure the survival of the tribes, their isolation should be their number 1 priority. The danger was not just the murders of tribe members, but also the destruction of their ecosystem resulting on their extinction. Claudio and Orlando Villas-Boas said, "In our modest opinion, the true defense of the Indian is to respect him and to guarantee his existence according to his own values. Until we, the civilized ones, create the proper conditions among ourselves for the future integration of the Indians, any attempt to integrate them is the same as introducing a plan for their destruction. We are not yet sufficiently prepared."
Naquele momento, essa atitude de demarcar uma área desse tamanho, conseguir costurar politicamente isso, numa sociedade com uma tradição, né, de desrespeito às populações indígenas, conseguir fazer uma costura política, né, que levasse à criação do parque, realmente foi um feito inestimável, né? E o carinho dos Villas-Boas com as populações do Parque do Xingu, né, realmente as políticas que eles tentaram desenvolver, né, de proteção, de valorização daquele patrimônio cultural, é inestimável.
Due to this expedition, the Villas-Boas brothers are included in the list of the most famous explorers of the world. Years later, another generation member of the family, Villas-Boas, watched to grow the same desire the same eagerness to see up close and protect indigenous people from his so-loved country, Brazil. Alfredo Villas-Boas, a Brazilian, descendant of Portuguese, Italian, Indian, and African, since a small child had a desire to know the Amazon and live with the Indians. It was also in its infancy that Alfredo started to have strong intuitions derived from dreams and visions. As a boy, he did not understand these visions and spent much of his life in a quest to discover what it all meant. Many years later, as an adult, married, and parent of 2 beautiful girls, a native of Brazil, his home is now Maui, where he's been lifeguarding at Ho'okipa Beach Park for the past dozen years. He is an apprentice of Kahuna La'au Lapa'au, a Hawaiian healer, honoring life with prayers for a future that respects the inalienable rights of all indigenous people. He takes global warming seriously and the destruction of the Amazonian forests and damming of its rivers called to him with an urgency and seriousness that had to be answered in person.
I have been inspired by athletes like Larry Hamilton, Dave Kalama, Tom Jones, who use sports to bring people's attention to social causes. So I decided to do the same. When totally random, I watched a video of a page from the Xingu tribes in the Amazon, which made me very emotional. My memories of my deepest dreams and visions, already forgotten from childhood, came to light. The feeling was even stronger, and once more, I was sure that this was my mission. When it came to my attention, the construction of Belo Monte plant, just in the lands of the people of the Xingu, my feelings are of immense pain and anger.
The Belo Monte Hydroelectric Power Plant project in Altamira, Xingu area, used to be known as Kara'o, which is the Kayapa tribe's battle cry, a yell intended to rally a group of soldiers in battle, and nowadays is also a slogan used to rally support for a cause.
It's terrible to sacrifice these people, this river, and this country's riches, and the rainforest, which you see behind me, for a little electricity. It's not even efficient.
Since 1970, when the project was just an idea, the local natives manifested their own opinion against such development. In 1989, Haoni joined forces with Sting to draw the world's eye to deforestation in the Amazon. He has also traveled the world to garner support for what is, at heart, only common sense. We, the people of this planet, should not destroy it. Now his mortal enemy is the Belo Monte Dam. The dam will be built in a section of the river that is going to be dry. The builders will need to redirect a major body of water from a 62-mile-long area in the Xingu River. 2 large reservations are located in that area and will suffer permanent drought, resulting in extreme reduction of fish and biodiversity in general.
All this red, it's like a disease. It's important to you that this stays the same, but it's important to the world that this stays the same, as it always has been.
nós vivemos disso, do peixe, dos bichos do mato, da floresta que produz fruta para nós também, né? Então é isso que é a destruição.
Deixar sempre rio correndo. Aí peixe pode vir subindo, para nós comer.
The truth is that the Belamonte project has nothing to do with more energy available for the poor population. Belamonte's real target is the exploitation of the abundance of local natural resources such as wood, minerals, and water in order to attend an international demand.
Os investimentos no Brasil têm sido muito limitados em relação a explorar a potencialidade de outras fontes de energia. O Brasil tem potencial eólico imenso, né? Tem uma insolação solar sobre a maior parte do seu território bastante intensa. Tudo bem, nós temos esse recurso natural que é inestimável, né? E que pode gerar energia, que são os nossos rios. Mas não é possível uma política que pense que somente temos que tirar energia daí e seguir barrando todos os rios do Brasil e da Amazônia.
Brazil will only gain a huge ecological problem with all the toxic waste from such projects in the area, plus an excessive consumption of energy and the sacrifice of the Xingu River.
Será que não existe outro meio de produzir energia sem destruir a natureza?
It's not just about defending the environment, but the life of the people will depend on this environment to survive. The fishing activities will be compromised as well as the life of the fishermen. How will these people survive? How will they navigate after the dam is built there? We believe that in order to guarantee life on Earth, coexisting with the environment must be based on the ethical social concepts where human production needs and the environment should be measured on the same level of priority.
Que o próximo governante do Brasil faça, que olhe para os dois lados, não só para a sociedade branca, e sim olhar também para a sociedade indígena.
The Belamonte Hydroelectric Power Plant station will affect 13 countries, 18 tribes, and 20,000 people.
Apesar da legislação brasileira, né, proteger a população indígena, a Constituição de 1988, né, trazer um aparato de leis, né, que cria uma situação de proteção desses povos, né, a tradição, né, do Brasil é uma tradição de desrespeito, né, a essas populações, de não valorização do seu patrimônio cultural e das suas formas tradicionais de subsistência.
Small actions can bring big results. It is our responsibility to promote awareness of the importance of the correct use of the natural resources so future generations can enjoy our planet.
I think if people in the world understood that they were doing this dam, Belamonte, which won't even provide a lot of power in half the year, when there's so many greener, more sustainable ways of producing energy for such a magnificent country like Brazil, which is so blessed with so much sun and so much wind. And
big actions will for certain save this planet, but small daily actions like water preservation, recycling, and waste management, among other things, will as well. We must inspire a new worldwide mentality with these objectives in hand in order to help with the preservation of our planet.
I felt like a legit member of the tribe, and now I understand what must be done. Without enough money, but with the deepest desire, I started to realize my dream job. With the help of friends, I developed a website, recorded videos, and boards of stand-up paddle were donated. I started well, getting daily paddling training up to 4 consecutive hours without rest. In parallel, friends did research on the Belo Monte plant and the Xingu National Park. And with all this preparation, each passing day, I was sure that I had a divine mission to accomplish.
The journey began on September 29th, 2010. Alfredo set off for Brazil, Maui to LA to Miami to Cuiabá by plane. His mission: go down the Xingu River stand-up paddling, traversing the river tribes where the Villas-Boas brothers passed by. His ultimate goal was to document their achievement, to draw attention of society on this calamity that was about to materialize.
We left Cuiabá, me and cameraman Cristiano Fabrice, and after 450 kilometers by bus, we arrived in Canarana. When we got there, I searched for the airport to find a friend. I talked with him and his family about my mission. I have been out of Brazil for half of my life. I was determined to do this, but I was anxious, stressed out about safety. But finally, I just let it flow. Then I followed Fred, my Indian friend, of Kalapalo tribes. The mission of finding a small space of water where I could work out a little. Fred helped me during my brief passage in Canarana. I met his family, I was able to show photos of Hawaii, and we had some good times together. I was presented by them with a painting on my stand-up paddleboard and gave them in exchange solar lights as a gift. I went to get my fellow expedition who were arriving in the bus station, the paddler Toiberto Abreu and the Estonian photographer Cristina Kala. Next morning, with the truck loaded with over 800 pounds of gear, we set foot on the road. Since the beginning, I could see the amount of farmland. Fine dust of the dirt road got stuck on our skin and all over our luggage. Soon, I began to scent a different smell that came from far, the smell of the forest. It began to appear huge trees, animals, rare birds. We were in the middle of the tremendous nature, in the middle of nowhere, when we were already tired of the trepidation of the truck. We saw 3 cowboys with around 900 cattle heads on the middle of the road. This place seems to be mystical and so exotic, and that's when I start to enjoy better my dream, and I gain strength to my challenge. Sometimes we had to stop and straight out luggage, because everything was moving with the trepidation of the truck.
Estou levando esse pessoal lá pro Parque Nacional do Xingu, lá para os índios. E é isso aí. Estrada ruim bastante. Vamos gastar mais umas 10 horas de viagem até chegar lá.
All of our food was being smashed, and most of it we lost. I began to realize that this was the challenge to entering into the jungle in the heart of Brazil. After a long bump journey, we arrived at the tribe, Piaruçu Aldeia. On first contact, I began to see the people were indescribable. They are very friendly, naive, warm, very respectful, and very curious. They received us very well. I gave the chief of the tribe a Hawaiian leimana that I made for them as a gift. It was very interesting to see how they live in harmony. I did not see anyone screaming. They work hard. They walk miles and miles to go hunt. They are the true ambassador of nature. Certainly, for some reason, God put these people to live in those lands, and they take care of the jungle. They only want the right to be free, to protect their culture and their lands. After we got the permission, we started to unload the truck, when timidly started to appear more residents of the tribe. I bought an awesome antiseptic spray for injuries, itches, and wounds, and I explained to them how this product was good. I left with them 3 gallons for their own personal use. My wife donated some books about the Hawaiian culture so they could better understand from where I was coming from, and also to know about the native Hawaiian people. It was a great feeling. Everyone really enjoyed themselves, especially the children. Dentists, doctors come from far away to help these Indians. So I started to learn more about how these people live in the jungle. Today they suffer from the exploitation of the land. But yet you find smiles on their face. I gave the chief 7 paddle donated by Uncle Bully from Maui. Along with the chief, I had the pleasure of knowing this gentleman, Mr. Benjai. He was very hospitable and took care of us during our stay. I will never forget him. His energy was similar to one of my uncles. Another gift I received was an opportunity to give a Lomi Lomi Kupele massage to the chief, a Hawaiian medical massage, and show a little bit of the Hawaiian style. This massage I learned more precisely with Uncle Kaipo Parker Kaniakua. He is a 9th generation Kahuna by his mother's side and 18th generation Kahuna from his father's side. Then we start to check our equipments. It would be a long day of paddling, and for me, the realization of my dream. I was aware and prepared for the risks we could encounter. We had a huge amount of stress, and we had to have full attention in all decisions. After this first beautiful contact with these tribes, I was about to begin the most beautiful paddling in the middle of the most amazing river in Brazil, Xingu River. Blessed together, we all left admiring the beauty. interacting with all kinds of animals, birds, crocodiles, fish. It was a true garden of God. After 4 hours of non-stop paddling, we had to take a break to regroup with our supporting group that was following us, our escort boat. The energy of nature around us was immense. And for more than 3 hours and a half, we could taste and enjoy the direct contact with the divine energy of Mother Nature. There, I could feel the energy of my ancestors, and I could also realize how arduous and important was the mission they had with these very pure people. Finally, we reached our destination, the renowned village of the Kayapo Chief Haoni Mektuktiri, Tsukaramai. Overall, the paddle was 60 miles, a downstream pool that took 7.5 hours to complete. Very exhausting.
Acabamos de chegar na nossa carreira expedição. Tô cansado, tô querendo comer e tomar mais água.
I felt honored, and I was not believing that over there I was going to meet Chief Haoni, the same one who was with my ancestor, the Villas-Boas brother. We had a warm reception. They all came to greet us welcome. I gave them a few presents and everyone was very happy. I felt the responsibility to help these people somehow. Right after, Cacique Haoni came to us and I had opportunity to give to him a solar light and thank him for the opportunity to have us there and talk a little about my ancestors. On that day, my mission was accomplished. The next morning, after spending the night in the local school, Toy and I conducted a stand-up paddle cleaning for the village people. The men came first, of all ages. The women and children after. They loved it. And there were some amazing riders, the best. I was very impressed. The joy, humility, and simplicity of the people touched the heart of all of our team. After the contact with the natives, our lives certainly would never be the same. That was a blessed morning. And after we went to Cacique Haoni's house.
Chief Haoni is recognized today as one of the world's great native leaders, father figure of the Xingu tribes. He tells of the origin of his people. In the beginning, we lived in the sky. One day, a hunter followed a wild boar all the way to its den and called the other men. They looked into the hole down below and they saw a beautiful forest with abundant game. They decided to go there. So they put together a ball of ropes tied up together and threw it down from the sky. Then one after another, my ancestors climbed down the rope and settled here on earth. Hauni lives in a traditional Kayapo house, thatched construction, high ceiling, dirt floor. There is no electricity, but a CB radio permits contact beyond the park.
Eu acho, nós, Caiapó, o criançada, ele tem que aprender com o velho.
Isso.
Ele tem que segurar costume nosso Caiapó. Você viu que não tem nem botoca agora, não tem. Pessoa muito bobo, muito bobo. Eu estou muito preocupado com pessoa daqui. O rapaziada.
Isso, rapaziada.
The intensity and wisdom of a warrior is on his eyes. He must be in his 80s, but still solid as an oak tree. He seems invincible. It was like being with King Kamehameha. He was such a power, and yet it was like being with my uncle, everyone's uncle, very kind and understanding, soft-spoken person. Chief Hauni is very concerned about preserving their culture, which strives for the young to learn from the elders, and not by influence by people coming from outside.
Sabe, a vida do branco, a vida do cubé, a vida do português. Cubé, muito diferente, muito bem. Eu já andei todo lugar, eu já conheci tudo. Cubé, onde tem lugar para dormir, está cobrando. Banheiro está cobrando. Comida está cobrando. Ah, não. Não é costume do nosso índio, não é assim. Costuma nós, quando a pessoa vai caçar, mata atrás carne, bicho, né? Para dar tudo muito, não precisa cobrar, não precisa comprar.
Isso.
Né? Você estamos aqui, você está vendo, você vai dormir. Nós não vamos cobrar você. Ah, assim, por isso que eu não quero que o povo vai acabar esse mato aqui. E também eu não quero morar na cidade. É melhor mato aqui, né? Aqui é tranquilo.
É.
Nem barulho.
Paz.
Esse é meu pensamento, meu trabalho é isso aí.
Because he knows that to live in the jungle in harmony with the animals, plants and minerals, they need to cultivate this ancient wisdom that passes from generation to generation. In this culture, there is no money, there is tradition, labor, hard labor, union with one another, and harmony with the environment, ecosystem. Thank God for had given me this gift of being with Chief Hauni. Now I understand more why the Vilas Boas brothers accept the Indians' issue as their own cause. All the preparation before coming to this expedition was rewarded by the contact with those incredible people. These tribes, this place filled with energy, exuberant nature in the middle of the heart of Brazil. Has completely changed the lives of everyone on my expedition. I prepared myself physically, mentally, but I confess, I never expected that we would find all that you guys saw. To me, it was a great gift from God. I'm very grateful for these people. Everything I experienced and all the feelings that I had are memorized deep in my soul and encourages me to fight to help those people until I die. Is more than a simple desire by my mission here in the planet Earth.
Que